بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We discussed few points about wahy, revelation, and we continue with a point about different ways of receiving wahy by the prophets, or different ways of Allah communicating to the prophets. The key point is that, first of all, it seems Allah only communicates to human beings. Although we believe in jinns and they have also freedom, they also receive guidance, but they follow human prophets. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that there has certainly come to you an apostle from among yourselves. And we have many places that, min anfusihim. In chapter 42, verse 51, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it's not possible for a human being to be spoken by God except in three general ways. وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ, chapter 42, verse 51. وَمَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ أَنْ يُكَلِّمَهُ اللَّهُ. It's not possible for any human being that God should speak to him إِلَّا, except وَحْيًا, through revelation, أو مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ, or from behind a veil, أو يُرْسِلَ رَسُولًا فَيُوحِيَ بِإِذْنِهِ مَا يَشَاءُ, or send a messenger who reveals by his permission whatever he wishes. إِنَّهُ عَلِيٌّ حَكِيمٌ. Indeed, he is all exalted, all wise. So, based on this, our scholars have mentioned different ways of receiving wahy. So there are three major ways. One is wahyan, one is min wara'i hijab, one is yursila rasula. And inshallah we discuss them one after the other. So the first is wahyan. And of course all these three can be called wahy, but here wahy means direct and immediate. Because the second is from behind a veil, and the third is by sending angel. Messenger, Rasul here means angel that brings revelation. So sometimes Allah communicates directly, sometimes Allah speaks from behind the veil, like Musa alayhi salam, and sometimes by sending a messenger, a Rasul. We will talk about all of them. So let's see first the first one. Direct and immediate communication. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sometimes chooses a person because of his humbleness, because of his piety, because of his understanding and intelligence, as we said before, because of having large capacity. He chooses a person. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may project an idea or meaning to the heart or mind, or heart and mind of that person. So the direct one sometimes is by projecting an idea into the heart and mind, or heart or mind of a prophet. He would understand the message of God. As we said before, there would be no ambiguity. It would be very clear. It's like seeing something, and he would understand what to communicate to other people. But there is a second type that it's not an idea only, it's verbal communication. So an idea with some wording is projected. So sometimes Allah inspires a prophet by giving him an idea, a very beautiful, useful idea to be communicated to humanity, but sometimes it also involves some verbal aspect. So some words actually are communicated. The third is, or before we go to the next one, here I have something that is maybe interesting to mention to understand the difference that when Allah communicates the meaning and not the word. Here in the notes I have mentioned a story of Prophet Ibrahim ala nabiyina wa alihi wa salam. According to Qur'an, Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam had a dream. Of course, maybe this dream repeated, that he should slaughter his son, and we believe was Ismail. Of course, according to the Bible, they say it's Isaac. So the Quran says he told his son, Ya bunayya inni ara fil manam anni adbahuk. My dear son, I have seen in my dream. Manam means dream. I have seen in my dream that I slaughter you. فَانْظُرْ مَاذَا تَرَى. It's very interesting that unlike what it's in other traditions, in Islamic tradition, Ibrahim didn't deceive his son. Actually mentioned to his son that he had this dream, and his son was consulted, and he was such an understanding person who said, Ya abati fa'al ma tu'mar. My father, do what you are commanded. So he knew that dream of the Prophet is hujjah. Ibrahim didn't say, I was commanded. He said, I saw in my dream that I am slaughtering you. But he realized that this was a command. So without him having any hesitation, actually he said to his father, Ef'al ma tu'mar. He encouraged his father. He said, do what you have been asked. Satajiduni insha'Allah min as-sabirin. He didn't say satajiduni min as-sabirin. He said insha'Allah. Because you can never be sure about yourself. لا تقولن لشيء إني فاعل ذلك غدا إلا أن يشاء الله. Never say I will do this certainly tomorrow, except you say God willing. So you see, Ibrahim alayhi salam received this idea, but it seems that it didn't have any wording. It was not verbal communication. He had it in dream. But sometimes it can be a wording also coming to the prophet. So there's a difference between the two. Then we go to the second of the three types. We said wahyan aw min wara'i hijab. Min wara'i hijab, hijab, veil. Hijab in Arabic means a barrier or a partition, something that separates between two things, means it's called hijab. And we use it for also ritual hijab, because the literal meaning can be useful also here. Means that it's separating this person who observes hijab from people who are not mahram, people who are strangers. And the reason is because Qur'an says to mu'mineen that when you ask the wife of the Prophet something, إِذَا سَأَلْتُمُوهُنَّ فَاسْأَلُوهُنَّ مِنْ وَرَاءِ حِجَابٍ. Ask them from behind hijab. So hijab could be a curtain, or can be like a, chador, or can be, the literal meaning is something like a barrier, a partition. So, min wara'i hijab. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks from behind a veil. Like we have about Prophet Musa alayhi salam. And in Dua al-Nudbi also this is mentioned, وَبَعْضٌ كَلَّمْتَهُ مِنْ شَجَرَةٍ تَكْلِيمًا كَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. So, you know that Musa alayhi salam is Kalimullah because Allah spoke to him. And this started when in the night he was taking his family and he saw a fire and he went to see this fire and maybe use this fire for their journey. فَقَالَ لَأَحْلِهِمْ كُثُوا إِنِّي آنَسْتُ نَارًا. And when he went, he was surprised because there was a bush and there was fire, but the fire was not consuming the bush. And then Allah started talking to him. إِنَّنِي أَنَا اللَّهُ. So, he was spoken from that bush, from behind the well. So, that was used as a medium from whom a voice was coming. Of course, Allah does not speak like we speak, but He can create the voice. Even today, there are people who cannot speak. They use a machine who creates the voice. They can communicate. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created a voice that Musa could understand very well. But where was this voice coming? It has to come from somewhere. It came from that bush. So Allah spoke him from behind a veil. It is said in some sources that when the Prophet went for Mi'raj, his ascension to heaven, sky, there were also some communications that Rasulullah heard a voice. Okay? But inshallah, as we will see, it seems the main way of Rasulullah receiving wahy was through Jibreel, which is taking us to the third one. أَوْ يُرْسِلَ رَسُولًا. Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends a messenger. This Rasul is different from the Prophet. So Prophet himself could be Rasul or Nabi only. In our case, the Prophet Muhammad, for example, Prophet Musa, Prophet Isa, they were also Rasul. But there is another meaning for Rasul. For the angel who brings message of God down to the Prophet. That angel also acts as a messenger. So he brings the message to the messenger and then he delivers to the people. So he's a messenger from God to the Prophet, and Prophet is a messenger to people. Okay? For example, look at this ayah in Surah 26, verses 192 to 195. وَإِنَّهُ لَتَنْزِيلُ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Qur'an is sent down by the Lord of Alamin, the intelligent inhabitants of the world or the worlds. نَزَلَ بِهَا الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينَ. How this came down? The trusted spirit brought it down. نَزَلَ بِهِ الرُّوحُ الْأَمِينَ عَلَى قَلْبِكَ. So from God, Jibreel brought it down to the heart of the Prophet. لِتَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُنذِرِينَ. So that you would be one of the people who give warning. Because, one title for the Prophet is Nadhir. إِنَّمَا أَنَا مُنذِرٌ وَلِكُلِّ قَوْمٍ هَادٍ بَشِيرًا وَنَذِيرًا. So, Jibreel brought down this to your heart so that you would warn, you would give the message to people. بِلِسَانٍ عَرَبِيٍّ مُبِينٍ, in clear Arabic language. Inshallah, we will talk about it more in details later, but as you see, the communication to the Prophet involved wording. It was not just idea. Sometimes Allah just sends idea, but the Quranic revelation was idea or meaning plus wording. Even the words are revealed by God. It's not that Allah gave the Prophet meanings and he chose how to speak the meaning. You know, sometimes maybe a message is given and the person puts in his own words. But in the case of the Quran, definitely, Quran came with wording in clear Arabic language. This was part of the revelation. So Allah chose Arabic and Allah chose the words. There were some people who were against Islam and against Jibreel because they thought Jibreel made a mistake by bringing revelation to the Prophet, which is very funny idea. So some people developed enmity against Jibreel. Then Allah says in Surah Baqarah verse 97, قُلْ مَنْ كَانَ عَدُوًّا لِجِبْرِيلَ فَإِنَّهُ نَزَّلَهُ عَلَىٰ قَلْبِكَ بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. Tell anyone who is enemy of Gabriel, that he's brought it down to your heart بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. He cannot choose himself that to take it to this man or that man. With the permission of God, with the blessing of God, with the leave of God. مُصَدِّقًا لِمَا بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ وَهُدًى وَبُشْرَى لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ. This message which Jibreel brought from God to your heart confirms what has been revealed before, وَهُدًى, and as a guidance, and bushra, good news to the faithful. So, Jibreel was involved in bringing down the message to the Prophet. Our ulama have gone further and said, even this one has some subtypes when an angel is involved. Sometimes the angel deposits the message in the spirit of the Prophet. For example, Gabriel, but you must know that it's not always Gabriel who was coming. So sometimes there was no angel involved, and sometimes even if there was angel, it was not Gabriel. But Gabriel was very much involved in communicating the Prophet. So it depends on the situation and on the rank of the Prophet. So anyway, an angel who could be Gabriel, who could be someone lower than Gabriel, sometimes deposits the message to the spirit or in the spirit of the Prophet. But sometimes the angel takes the form of a human being and then it speaks. This can be like what happened to Lady Maryam, although she was not receiving prophetic revelation, but just as an example, how an angel can take form of a human being. You have in the Quran, تَمَثَّلَ لَهَا بَشَرًا سَوِيًّا. Or when angels went to see Ibrahim and his wife, and they spoke to both of them. Wife of Ibrahim is not a prophet or prophetess, but they saw angels in the form of human beings. Because angels can take form of human beings, or even they can take form of a bird or animal, except dog and pig. Unlike jinns that can take the form of even dogs and pigs. So, sometimes the angel comes in the form of a human being. In some historical sources say that Jibreel sometimes used to come to the Prophet as a human being, and he was taking the form of Dihya al-Kalbi, who was fostered brother of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So people thought he has come to visit the Prophet because he was fostered. He was also fostered by Lady Halima, but indeed it was not Dihya Kalbi. He was a nice-looking, nice person, and Jibreel sometimes was taking his shape and going to visit the Prophet. And sometimes it's not depositing the message, it's not by taking the form of a human being, it's like a sound of a bell. A very big sound like a bell, ringing. And it is said that this also was happening sometimes to prophets, and it was very difficult to cope with this. Because, it's like you being next to a very huge bell and it's, ring. The fourth type is the angel appears to the Prophet in its original form. Maybe what we have in the story of the first revelation to Prophet was like this. When Rasulullah was in the cave of Hira and for the first time received revelation, in some sources say Rasulullah saw as Jibreel has been spread all over the horizon and sky. Even this is not except a description, because you cannot describe what the Prophet had with using physical words. Okay? But it's possible that a prophet in his encounter with the angel would be able to penetrate hijab and see the angel in its real form, not angel being in need of taking the form of a human being so that we can see it. Understand the difference? So sometimes the angel comes this part of the veil, and in order for us to see, or the prophet to see, takes the form of a human being or a bird so that we can see. Sometimes the prophet goes behind the veil and see the angel as they are. So there are four types of angels communicating the message of God to the prophet. So, مَا كَانَ لِبَشَرٍ أَنْ يُكَلِّمَهُ اللَّهُ إِلَّا وَحْيًا, which means direct, means no angel is involved, no veil is involved. Allah directly communicates the meaning without wording or with wording. Sometimes min wara'i hijab, Allah speaks, creates the voice which is understandable by that prophet, but he uses a medium from which the voice is coming, like a bush. And third is to send an angel. Could be Jibreel, could be someone lower than Jibreel. And this angel can deposit the message. This angel can take form of a human being and speak, can be like ringing the bell, or can be appearing in its original form. Why there are different methods? Maybe it depends on the rank of the prophet, on the condition of the prophet, on the type of the message which is going to be given. So there can be different factors. Inshallah, we will talk more about the Quranic revelation and the fact that it was involving the wording later. So I stop now so that we can have also 10 minutes for question and answer, and inshallah we continue next session. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.